Welcome to my series, OR 1015. OR 1015? Yep, because I'm an overweight runner trying to lose 10 kilos in 15 weeks, and this is week 1. Okay, so what am I doing and why? I've decided to lose about 10 kgs to help me with my running and for general health and fitness. And I've invited everyone who watches my channel, and if you come across this video and this happens to be you, to join me on this mission. How? Join me over here on my Instagram, and every Sunday when I share this video, I'm going to ask you to message me to tell me how you're getting on, and I will share mine too. Anyway, let's explain the format of these videos. So each video is going to have 4 sections. The first section is the running for that week, and I'll take you with me on the run. Second, I'll take you with me in the gym, showing you every single exercise, every workout I'm doing. And then thirdly, I'm going to have the nutrition side. How well have I done with my food? Lastly, at the end of each video, and essentially the main purpose, I will share with you my weight as I weigh in for that week to show you any progress I've made towards losing 10 kilos for that week. Okay, so for the runs, I've done 4 runs this week, 2 of which are part of my Richmond 10K training. I want to run my first sub 48 10K, so I'm training for that.
All right, welcome back, day 3. I've got to warm up for 15 minutes. I've got 2 reps at threshold pace. Let's go.
And for me, that is 4 minute 48 seconds to 5 minutes per K pace.
All right, 2-minute recovery, stationary. 1 more rep, 10 minutes, under 5K. Let's go.
And then that was followed by a 15-minute cool down. The other run I did was an easy run. Now, I want to distinguish the easy run to my zone 2 run. The easy run is a bit faster than my zone 2 run, and I run that roughly around 6 minutes, 10 seconds per K pace. So I did a 50-minute run, and I did this in central London. Such a beautiful run. To be able to run at a place where people pay money to go, and it's just an easy run for me. You take in sights, so like Tower Bridge or London Bridge, the Shard, running in the heart of London, seeing all of the sights. It's just amazing when you step back and put on your tourist eyes that I'm actually running in this place. Anyway, the other run I do, and I do this run on a Sunday, is a zone 2 run that I invite my local community to. It's a group run. It was a good run, a group run with people in my local community, and it's very, very enjoyable. The other run, now this one I loved, zone 2 run with my son Josiah. Check him out, putting his helmet on, and I ran with him in my local area. The intention was to just do a good run, spend time with him on the bike. I'm trying to get him a bit more confident with riding on the road. So that's what we wanted to do. So he came out with me on a zone 2 run. That is all of my running for this week. We're now going to a taper week next week, ready for Richmond run on September 9th. Let's talk about the gym stuff. So let's start with the pull day. Essentially your back and your biceps. It starts with pull-ups. Don't worry if you can't do these just yet. There are ways of regressing these. If you want to know, feel free to message me on my Instagram. I can help you with it. Straight after the pull-ups, I then move to a bent over barbell row. Very good for targeting your back muscles, but please get the form right, because it's hard to get this right and not strain your lower back too much. After that, I moved on to the cable row. Really good because there's no pressure on your lower back, but still targets your back muscles very, very efficiently. After that, I moved on to doing straight arm pull downs. Also targets your back muscles, specifically your lats. Did that before moving to face pulls. This is good because it targets muscles that are often ignored, and those are your rear delts. Then we moved on to the workouts that every gym bro wants to do in the gym, the bicep curls. So these are called spider curls, where you lean on the bench. The reason it's effective, you suspend your arm in the air, so you're not doing any of this cheating, lifting the weight, but your arm is specifically targeting your bicep as you lift that weight. Straight to your dumbbell curls. I finished this workout with some calf raises. All workouts will have calf raises done to them to address my inherent weakness in my calves. And that is the pull day. It was a leg day, focusing on leg muscles, the lower body, and we started with hip adductors, working on the inside of your thighs. These are muscles often neglected. And then moved on to leg extensions. These are where you're kicking the weight up. Again, slow and controlled movements. Anyway, I did those and then moved to the other side to look at hamstring curls. Most runners will have an inherent weakness in your hamstrings, but you won't believe how much your hamstring contributes to running. From there, moved on to the leg press. Now this bad boy hurts. Again, control the movements and make sure that when you push the weight out, you don't actually fully straighten your leg to a point where you lock out your knees. Because once the weight starts getting heavy, it's a very good recipe for injury. So keep a slight bend in your knees at all times. Keep the movement controlled. After that, I did the hardest exercise of the day, the Smith machine split squats. These bad boy hurt. Now, excuse me, kind of cut off my head there, but you get to see the gist of what I'm doing. 10 on each side, and you will know about it, especially the next day. After that, I moved on to do calf raises. Now here, I want to take a second. Every day I go to the gym, I will do calf raises, whether it's part of the session that day or not, simply because I've got an inherent weakness in my calves. I've always had very small calves and I get shin splints when I run. Okay, so let's talk about the push day. Essentially, your chest muscles, your shoulders, and your triceps. So this started with a dumbbell bench press. This part is key. Don't rush to using barbells. Lightweight, this is first week. You don't want to overdo it. After that, I then moved on to an incline bench press. Again, keep it light. This targets your upper chest areas. That was really good. And then with the cable flies. I love this movement. It challenges the inside of your pectoral muscles. I love it. Okay, I then moved on to working on my shoulder muscles. Let me emphasize on the need to keep this light, especially in your first week. After that, I did these lateral raises. Now, I've had a shoulder operation, so I'll always keep these light. Even when I progress, I don't progress to very heavy weights for this particular movement. We then moved on to doing overhead tricep extensions. I love these because they target your triceps very differently compared to your normal tricep push down. For my ab workout, I did cable crunches instead of the hanging knee raises. I just prefer it. And again, we finished that with calf raises. Okay, so one more workout before we finish with the gym section. And this is the posterior chain day. All muscles on the back of your body, essentially. It's a catch-all kind of workout, and I love it. It starts with deadlifts. Now, if you don't know how to do deadlifts, please don't do them. It's very, very easy to get this wrong and get yourself injured in terms of harming your lower back. And I love doing this exercise before I moved on to doing a dumbbell row. Now, if you can't do a barbell row because it's uncomfortable or too heavy, using dumbbells for this is exactly what you need to do. And then took it over to the cable machine for doing a wide grip low row. And I love this one. Targets your back very, very well. And then essentially wrapped it up with some hanging knee raises, but in true fashion, ended it again with calf raises. Okay, just ignore the little guy in the background. He's playing in the long jump sandpit. Let him. Let's talk about nutrition for the week. Now this, in my opinion, is the toughest and most important part on any weight loss plan. So, using MyCoach app, and I'm going to leave the link in the description, I calculated how many calories I should be on. 2,500 and something. I can't remember what the something is. On a daily basis, I'm doing the very best I can to eat up to that number of calories. Essentially, I've stuck to it religiously. Actually, let me move to the side. And beside me here, I'm going to put how many calories I had on each day. This is the #1 primary key driver to that weight loss plan. And this is exactly what you need to pay attention to the most. Now, I've got two questions here that people asked me and I want to answer right now. Aubrey, if it says I need to have 2,000 calories and I've exercised on that day and I burned 500 calories, does it mean for that day I've got 2,500 calories to eat? The best answer to give you is you don't eat back the calories you have burnt. That is the answer I should be giving you. The reality of it is this. If I'm hungry and I know I've burnt off that number of calories through my hard work, I'm going to eat, because one thing I won't do is starve during this project. I won't starve because when I've gone all out, I won't sustain it. I won't enjoy it. Before you know it, I've started doing a whole different YouTube series. All right. The second one is I'm on daily steps. I count how many steps I take and I aim for 12,500 per day. I was asked, Aubrey, if you go running, do you count the steps you've taken on the run as part of the 12,500? The answer I should be giving you is nope, that's separate. The more you move, the better. The answer I will give you is absolutely I do. It's the same body doing those steps as well as the ones in the running. So why not? It makes me feel better. And you know what? I'm not going to push myself to the line where I feel like I'm a zombie. I want to enjoy this as I do it. Anyway, let's move on to the moment of truth. Did I lose weight? Absolutely I did. Just as a reminder, we started on 90 kilos. I am now on 87.5. But I need to clarify something because 2.5 kilos is not necessarily body weight coming off me. Okay, so when you first start losing weight, there's two things you need to consider that are not really weight loss per se. The first bit is water retention. You get rid of excess water that you had despite your hydration, but it just goes. The second thing, your system, actually, let me be specific. My system will have been clogged up with all sorts. I won't get into detail because that will get very, very sickly. But you get rid of foods, you get rid of everything, all the junk, and that goes until you start a cycle of healthy foods. You've got energy in your system. And then, don't get me wrong, part of that 2.5 I've just lost will be body fat. Believe me, it is. But I'm going to ask you to take the weight I've just shared, this weight, as my starting weight. That to me is where the challenge really starts. So don't get me wrong, having gone from 90 to 87.5 is still a big achievement because guess what? I was still carrying that weight when I was running. Now I just have less of it. For you to understand how much of progress that is, go to a gym, find a 2.5 kilo dumbbell. That's how much less I weigh now.